SQ3R. It's one of the most popular study strategies that students use to read and study for tests, but the problem is it's outdated. It was introduced in the 1940s, which is almost 100 years ago, and since then, research has found better ways for us to study.
We know that students are looking for better ways to study, so we went ahead and revamped the SQ3R, and our new method will help you read the material, understand it, and remember it so that you can get better grades. The old SQ3R stands for survey, question, read, recite, and review. You survey what you're about to read, and then you form questions based on what you surveyed. Then you read the book to find the answers to those questions, and you recite them out loud so you understand them in your own words. And these become your notes. And the last R is review. You want to review all those notes before you take your test. Now, the only part of this that we want to keep the same in our updated version is going to be the S. We have a different take on the Q, and we want to change all three of the R's into something else, something better. Rephrase, recall, and repetition. The old SQ3R teaches you to write down notes and then review those notes for your exam. Well, the problem here is that science actually shows this to be an inefficient way to study. Yet many people are still doing this because you're not always taught the most effective way to study in school. The best study strategies include active recall, spaced repetition, and the Feynman technique. And our new SQ3R incorporates all of them.
So here's our new and improved SQ3R. S is gonna stay the same, it's still gonna be survey. So in this step, you're gonna quickly flip through the chapter, and you're gonna read all the headings, the bold words, the key terms, and look at pictures and diagrams. You wanna get a general idea of what you're about to learn, and see how the author organizes the information. So next is Q, which is question, and we have a different take on this one. Instead of forming questions of what you just surveyed, we suggest you go straight to the source. If there are practice questions in your textbook or review questions at the end of the chapter, then use these as your guide. You can ask your teacher directly since they're probably making the exam, or you can ask for old practice tests if they're available. But these questions are important because A, they're your notes, and B, they force you to read with purpose. You're trying to read to find answers to these questions. So next we have the three R's. And the first R is rephrase. And this R is gonna help you understand the information. So as you're reading and you find an answer to one of the questions you just wrote, you wanna rephrase this information. You wanna pretend to teach back that information to someone who doesn't understand it. This means that you can't use complicated words, but you have to rephrase it into a way that they can understand it. And write this all out word for word if you need to. These are part of your notes. But if you're having trouble explaining the information in your own words, then you probably don't understand it well enough. The next R is recall, and this is gonna help you remember what you've read. So the old SQ3R tells us to review our notes, but the better strategy is to recall our notes. So here's how you do it. When it's time to study for your test, go back to your questions from step Q. And don't look at the answers, just read the question, and then try to recall the answer without peeking. One of the best ways to ensure that you can't cheat or look at your notes is by using flashcards. And we highly recommend you make digital flashcards instead of writing out on pieces of paper. But recall forces you to study in the exact way that you'll be tested, which is better than reviewing, which is just rereading your notes. The last R is repetition. You want to use this in combination with recall to further solidify the information in your memory. So by repetition, we mean spaced repetition. Spacing out how often you're going to practice recall. Here's how you can do it. So one day after your exposure to the material, you want to practice recalling the information again. Then 4 days after, you want to practice recalling it again. And then a week later, recall it again. You want to space it out. Just go through the questions that you wrote in step Q and then practice recalling the information again and again, and over time it's gonna stick. If you're many days out but then can't recall the information, then I would restart the whole cycle and start with day 1 again.
So that's our new SQ3R. We found success using it all throughout medical school, and our hope is that you can find success too if you use it in your own studies. If this video was helpful to you, then give it a thumbs up so that it can reach more people.
I hope you enjoyed that video. Give it a thumbs up because it really helps us out. And if you want to see more, click on the red subscribe button down here or the circle up here.
Check out our website or check out our Instagram, links in the description below. And check out these videos over here. We think you might enjoy them.
And we'll see you next time.